Are your words building people up or tearing them down? You're in a meeting. Someone drops the ball. You're frustrated. You're maybe even angry. What comes out of your mouth next? Correction, criticism, encouragement? Because here's the truth. Your words carry more weight than you'll ever realize. This is Leading 10. I'm Chris Moore. Today, we're talking about the importance of integrity in your communication. We've spoken about this a few times in this podcast, but this is so very important. The things that we speak into people's lives, into our own lives, into our business, and how we lead. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." Now, Paul isn't just giving us a be nice talk. He's reminding us that our words are powerful. They can either build people up or break them down, including ourselves. And as leaders, we don't just speak for ourselves. We set the tone for the entire culture that's around us. It's a big responsibility, but it's ours. And so let's be honest. Words, they're easy to throw around, especially when we're frustrated. Admit it. We vent. We criticize. We gossip. We justify it by saying, well, I'm just being real. But here's the thing. Real doesn't mean reckless. You can be honest without being harsh. You can correct without crushing someone. You can challenge without condemning. Because integrity in communication isn't just about the words that we say, what we say. It's also about how we say it, how we deliver the message. And, what does this say about us? Well, we often underestimate the impact of our words. We think a quick comment is no big deal, but to someone else, it can either be a lifeline or it can be a dagger. I even heard somebody say, well, it's a small offense, they'll get over it. It's a throwaway line. But we can't be that way, because this also says something about God, the God that we serve, the God we should emulate, the God that people should see through us. God is a communicator. He spoke the world into existence. His words create. His words can heal. His words restore. His words change the world. And he calls us to do the very same. You're not just a leader. You're a steward of words, not just of finances, not just of money. You're a steward of words that you speak into things around you. Think about this. What would happen if you treated your word like little seeds? Every conversation was a chance to plant life, to speak grace, to build someone up. Imagine the culture you could create in your home, in your workplace, or in your ministry. But when we're careless with words, we plant weeds instead of seeds. Gossip. We plant distrust in people who are scared to share or even perform around us. Criticism plants a resentment against us for what they see as unfair, and which very well may have been, especially in the way that we gave it. Sarcasm can plant insecurity in people. Over time, those words grow, and they grow into a culture of division, of confusion, of bitterness, and we destroy some people's self-worth. But you have the power to change the narrative. You can speak life into somebody. You can choose to speak truth without losing grace. My son is a teenager, and I have been in so many different circumstances with other parents where I've heard things said that I understand. Maybe in the moment they didn't even know what they were saying, or they were carrying forward something that happened to them as they were younger, their relationship with their parents, the words that were spoken to them, and they're passing it on to the very ones that we should love and care for. Just like we gave them life, we should speak life into them. We are entrusted with that into our children, but also into those we lead. And so that's why we need to make sure that we apply this thought, this truth. We need to speak truth, but we need to do it with grace. Let your communication reflect your character, and vice versa. Your character will become what you communicate. Are you saying this to somebody to correct them, or because you're trying to regain control of a situation or of a person? Are you reacting out of frustration, or are you responding with wisdom? Have you paused long enough to be able to deliver that wisdom? Will these words build someone up or break them down? Because as a leader, your words don't just reflect your feelings, they reveal the state of your heart. Here's some practical ways that we can begin to speak life into situations. First, start out by pausing. Pause before you speak. Weigh your words. Take a breath. Pray. Ask God for wisdom and the wisdom to speak into this situation. You need to choose your words carefully. Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Does it fall in any of those three categories? Speak in private before you correct in public. Protect someone's dignity, not just their performance. A quick snap at someone can destroy weeks, months, even years of relationship. And be sure you apologize when you miss the mark. If you say something in public, be sure you apologize in private, but also in public. Don't let pride keep you from making it right. And lastly, ask for some feedback. Hey, especially when you see something in someone's face, how did that come across? Was I clear? Did you feel respected? I don't know about you, but I can think back right now, popping into my mind, or conversations where if I asked that question, how did this come across? Did you feel respected? I'd be scared to death to ask that question because I know what the answer would be. But look, we're going to make mistakes. Communicating with people isn't about perfection, but it is about alignment. It's about trying to align with what we want our character to be, what the person that we want to be tomorrow, the leader that God is calling us to be. I can remember plenty of times, my very first job in management, where I let frustration get the best of me. I snapped at a young man, at a team member in front of others. It was quick. It was harsh. It was careless. And yes, I was young. Still should have known better. I did not represent what I believed about myself. Definitely didn't represent God in that situation. Later on that night as I'm driving home, God really convicted me of what I did. I had to call the young man and apologize. I'm hearing that still small voice telling me, Chris, your words matter. Did you build up somebody, or did you tear down this young man in a way that he should not have been disrespected or treated? Yes, his actions needed correction. Yes, his attitude needed to be adjusted, but it didn't need to be adjusted by me as much as it needed to be adjusted by him. And how I spoke and what I said made a choice for him as well. So I did. I had to go back. I had to apologize. I had to apologize to the people that were there that night, to the whole group that witnessed what I had done. And in that moment, I learned that leadership isn't about being right. It's about being real. And I can't say that from that moment that I've always been perfect, but I have tried to go back always. And I think over time I've grown. But, if we're willing to apologize, we're willing to say things in private and in public, those relationships change and become so much deeper. So here's your challenge for today. I want you to think about the last 3 conversations you had. They'll pop into your mind most likely. Did your words build up, tear down, or did they just pass through totally unnoticed? Ask God to help you plant seeds of grace into people, not frustration. Are people better for the interaction? Do they have the opportunity to be better because of an interaction with you? Are you leading, or are you just bitter? Leadership is a lot more than just strategy and execution, about what to do, about managing people, money, things, or processes. It's about the words you speak, the tone you set, the seeds that you plant into people's lives. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Think to yourself every day, today I want to speak life. Today I want to speak truth, but also want to speak grace. This is Lead 10. I'm Chris Moore. It's time for us to lead with a little more grace. Definitely words that are a source of life for everyone who hears them. So if this challenged you to maybe check your words or think twice, please continue, like and subscribe this podcast. But more importantly, share this message with someone. Share this with your team in a training who needs to be reminded your words matter more than you know. It's time to speak life and to give grace. And I'll see you next time.